Morning, y'all. Guess what? If you can hear me really well, it's because I found the old iPhone 10 that I like to film on, which my squirrel microphone can fit on. Yes, it was right where I told you it would probably be. It was uh, under my bed. Yeah, last night I don't know what got into me. Hi, Laddie. He's like, you gotta film so early in the morning. Hey, y'all, it's Sunday. I'm gonna use the selfie stick. We're gonna go look at some sunflowers and some garden. Yeah, come on. Gotta bring my cautionary don't peck at my leg stick. And I've got flip flops on and something about nail polish. I thought it was just the red, but I guess he doesn't like any of it. But he's learned the word stay. Um, Yesterday, he would always stay and not go past the trash cans when I tell him not to. But yesterday, crapola, I hit the button again. So anyway, um, I could probably go ahead and pick it, but I'm going to give it another day or two just to see. You know how I like them big. Actually, it's a perfect slicing size, but the last one I got, I went ahead and sliced up and put it in my. A lot of people do this in Oklahoma. I'm sure they do it everywhere. My neighbors do it here, but they kind of don't let theirs really get pickled and fermented. I put a jug of apple cider vinegar, or you can use white vinegar. I just happen to have apple cider vinegar. Half with it and water. I do half and half, and then I slice my cucumbers in there, and I slice sweet onion in there, and I put a lot of fresh ground black pepper, and then just let them get pickled. So the roses got a good drink this week. Plus, I did feed them, and I did neem oil them to keep the Japanese beetles off. And we must have got some. I'm gonna sit out here in my swing for a minute. We're just looking at the tree. It got flipped over the top bar, so that one white lily is still up. These seem to be the only wildflowers. There's some little purple ones here that really are coming up in this part of the garden. So all I can think of is I really think that yes, I roughed up the ground and some of them were covered and some of them were probably semi-covered, but I have a feeling the birds got to them. But yes, one white lily left. She's so pretty. Hello, pretty lady. I'm gonna take a whiff of her while you guys look at these. Oh my gosh, she smells so good. I think I put it on a video clip a long time ago. I had gone in the house, and I'm just gonna pinch off some of these because I think we had some rain, or just I barely don't even have to use my fingernail to pinch off deadhead these lily. They're just like falling off. I had been out here sniffing my lilies, and I probably just wasn't thinking about it, me squirreling or doing whatever. And I went in the house. I looked in the mirror and I saw something weird on my face, and at first it shocked me. Couldn't figure out what it was, and then I realized that in my excitement of smelling the lily, I had got, because it was fresh bloomed, its little stamen heads were really orange, and I had it all over my face and my nose, and I walked around like that, and I think I even went to the store with it on my face. Yeah, because I'm not a big, huge mirror person. I don't look in the mirror before I go places. So you can tell here, I've mentioned it before in a video, these are my vibrant purple hydrangea. But you can see as the blooms are coming, they're starting to brown. Part of that could be the sun, but I think it's just age. I've had some of these blooms have been on here a month. Oops, sorry. They're still lovely, and from a distance, they're still quite pretty. You know, it's just when you get up close to them and you're looking at them and you're like, that's not as pretty as it was before. But I love them. And I know that some people think I'm crazy, but one of the things that's keeping me here is the gardens. Look, the first little crepe myrtle bloom. So anyhow, I'd rather be wheat or corn. To me, soybeans are just kind of boring to look at. But I have a feeling there'll be corn probably in another month or so. They'll start growing the corn. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll skip it this year, but usually going into the fall, we have a good crop of corn over there. So Laddie and Flower are off doing their thing. The sun just will not make up its mind where it wants to be. I keep feeling I have to move this bird bath all the time, but should have brought a drink out here with me, but I didn't. I'm just going to but now that I have my microphone on this phone back, I think I'm going to think more about doing it live. I don't know. A friend of mine who has Seramas, you can visit her channel. I'll put a link to it in the description. It's called Chucks and Chicks, and she's over in merry old England, and she just has the most beautiful Seramas. Put that there on my table. We'll look kind of at the wildflowers, not necessarily the neighbor's house. While I sat down, because you know that can be awkward, and the camera flicks all over the place, and people get nauseous. I have my hair up. It's Sunday morning. I don't look great, but I'll turn this around for a minute. Yeah, that's me. Not knowing what I look like. I haven't looked in the mirror today. I did I brushed my hair and put it up, and then you look in the mirror. But yeah, so it's a lazy Sunday. I'm glad that it's mild enough I can set my swing. I think today we are supposed to get up to like 88, but we're not supposed to get above the 80s for the next like 10 days still. So, and we have a chance of rain this afternoon and all through the next few days. Come here, pretty dragonfly. I haven't learned how to call dragonflies yet. I wish I could. I mean, I see them constantly and everywhere, but yeah, maybe we'll just look at the field and watch some traffic. Figured Laddie and Flower would come over. Laddie Roo, come here, Laddie. Laddie boy. I came out earlier and picked a couple tomatoes before I decided I would film. Before I remembered that I had found my phone, this phone, and carried him around the yard. I made my little perimeter check, and he needed some mama time. He's always in a better mood if he gets a little mama time. So it's nice that the swing feels. I don't want to make film just traffic. You know, I am to the age that I do like to just sit and watch, you know. Look, somebody got a new air conditioner for the house, but he didn't put it in. He also got me a new hose, which I had told him to forget about it to save the money. I mean, gosh knows he got so many bills to take care of because of those hoochie mamas. But anyway, I can't get dang it, I can't get the legs of my thingy to go down anymore. To close. Well, sorry about that. I was trying to close the legs of this selfie stick. So he got me a new hose. I only used 50 foot to replace this one here, this dark green one, which is the one I've taped. But like I said, I told him, you know, you don't have to, you can forget about it. I, you know, taped it up. Okay. I was calling you up front. Yeah, I was calling you up front. Let's go look at your sibs. He's like, they're not my siblings. They're a total different batch. They're all your siblings. So Flower and Laddie decided they're going to try their hand at some gardening. So this is where cracked corn has taken root. So I'm just I do spray their yard down each day. So I'm just going to see how big it gets just for shits and giggles. But yeah, this is Laddie and Flower's little corn garden. Yes, the corn will be all yours since you guys are doing all the work. You're doing such a good job of weeding. So much better than Mom. Flower's like, you are the weirdest human in the world. All right, so these guys have been fed and rewatered this morning already. I just don't always do all that stuff on camera because as you saw yesterday, you know, or the day before yesterday, all you really see is my booty. But here's everybody over here. This is the male of the teenager. No, that's the female. Both the females have the dark legs, and the males, and I posted it in the description of my last video, but this female here in the food dish snacking, that's Penny. The male back there that's walking through the grass, just on the other side of that pole. Okay, that's Drago, like Drago in Rocky 4, just because he's always wanting to fight with D. And D is for dude, because D was supposed to be a Delilah, and Delilah has turned out to be a dude. So these things, this wildflower, I still haven't looked them up. I mean, they close up during the day and they open in the evening, and they were looking so limp and thirsty. And then now they're just like looking fine. So I don't know what this is. I'm not sure if it's a real wildflower, but I'm pulling it out because it's ugly. So there's some more growing of this here. So I don't know. We'll see. This is the big giant marigolds. I got this mix, which is a different mix. Last year I put the monarch butterfly mix here, and I had a lot more zinnia. This year was a butterfly bee mix. And as I've mentioned, I have seen some little hummingbirds over here. But yeah, pretty, pretty. But yeah, one of my friends was laughing because I had mentioned in my video of when I was doing some chores that I wasn't a hunchback. I just was trying to keep the hawk net from catching in my bun. And at one point, you see me go over to get the little honeycomb hideout, the little rabbit hutch. And what took me so long getting it was because the buckle on my dungarees got caught in the hawk net. I had my head bent over so my bun wouldn't get caught, but it gave my shoulder access. So there's Daisy and Cosmo. I was tempted to call the one blonde teenage boy, just call him Junior, because I think he's going to look a lot like his daddy. But here's Miss Kiva, Beth Brahma. Here's Miss Luna. She's getting a little older, but she is still the head hen. She's a silver-laced Wyandotte. There's Miss Lily. I noticed in that same video I kept saying Daisy, but that's Lily. She's a Columbian Rock Cross. That's Daisy. She is a Leghorn gold-laced Wyandotte cross. Her and Flower both are supposedly crossed with gold-laced Wyandottes. But the only time you ever see any kind of gold on them is up under their feathers, and before their first molt, Daisy had a couple black feathers in the middle of her back, making her look like a daisy. Laddie! He's all the way over there, and he's still being mouthy. So they've kicked that over. Sometimes I just have some low dishes that I'll put some feed in and set it around. So there's Zin Zin. She is an Easter egger. And these three came together. A gentleman had 3 chicks that he said were no longer needed heat, but he had to get rid of them. He said they were hens, but Mr. Jerkface, definitely not a hen. So we're going to come over here and look at the babies. So Dude and Drago are having their little standoff. They're so funny. They pose and posture together. So this is Penny. Got a little copper head. They're all under this bush here, so it's going to be harder for me to film them. They're like, yeah, Mom, you got spray on. Keep walking around in the grass. So, little Miss Gray here. Her name is Violet. And then standing behind her is Drago. You can see, kind of looks like his dad. He's getting a little black feather in his tail feathers. And just beyond them is the other rooster, Dude. I was really hoping to have just one rooster out of the batch, but you know, it never works that way, especially when a mama's hatching. You can't choose. Now, she spends more time, I mean, she hangs out with them more than the older birds, and they don't really run from her. I have seen her kind of chase him away from a food dish just because she's watching that dragonfly in front of her face. Cosmo's over there dancing for Luna, and she's like, dude, you're 2 years younger than me. I don't want to be seen being romanced by you. It's okay, Luna. Sometimes a younger man can be fun. I think I remember that. Anyway, so they're not coming to the fence, but I'm walking around talking. So they're like, come on, if you're going to come out here and talk to us, bring us a treat. But it's just a lazy Sunday morning. They're having little strolls. Flip it over, Cosmo. There's probably still some pink flesh in there. He's pecking at the watermelon. Let me expand this a little bit. So probably by winter, once all the grass dies out, I'm going to have to come around and do some fence reinforcing. Just because with wind and rain, it's got stretched out. Vinyl stretches. Now Luna is pecking the last of anything out of that watermelon rind. And the one in front of Cosmo is upside down. You just stepped on it. If you guys can flip a food bowl, you can flip your watermelon over. Yeah, they've all come to see what I'm doing, but they want to stay in the shade. I'm standing in the sun. So yeah, up under here is where the teenagers like to hang out. Mom's coming to check them out. What are y'all doing? You guys being good? No one's back here? No smoking, no cussing. No hanky-panky yet. You're too young. Of course, Cosmo's got to be up in everyone's business. But there you see one of the Brahmas. When you don't see the Brahmas together, all you see is her booty sticking up back there. It means one of them's on the nest box. Otherwise, they just walked around together the whole time. But it's a lazy Sunday. I wish we had some more breeze. So the far part of their yard there, from the pavilion over to the fence, is shaded. But it's starting to get sunny. I had a water dish on their boardwalk, and I moved it back under the shade cloth. They're like, Mom, why don't you plant sunflowers in here? Because you will eat them. Here's the mint. The mint patches. This mint patch is pretty old, but it's still growing mint, and I always let it go to flower because it attracts lots of pollinators. And these guys like to, do their best to try to catch some of those little insects. So these guys are out here standing up. I don't know what they're up to. I can't see them because the sun's right in my eyeball. But everyone else is just kind of gathered over here, seeing what I'm talking about. Kind of walking around the perimeter thinking I'm going to give them a treat. Which I was. I do have a can of English peas in the fridge I'm going to bring out to them. But we've been looking at chickens, and I've been rambling, and I'm going to put an end to this video. I don't know if I'll post it as is. I might, just because I gotta order chickens in it. So back here on this side, right now it's getting morning sun, but once the sun gets past these little trees, all this area between the fence and that downed pole is where the young ones like to hang out. And there they are. They're all back under there. And this fence back here is kind of high, so I can't really get in to see them. I need to tighten it up in a few places, obviously. Hey, y'all, we see you in there. Cosmo coming to see what I'm doing. He's like, I want the first treats. I want the first ones. I'll come back out with treats, guys. Make me feel guilty when I come out here without a treat. And there's things buzzing around me. You guys need to flip over the other piece of watermelon. Shrink this back down a little bit. Daisy following him around. She's like, I was without a man for so many months. Now I'm going to follow this doofus around just because my hormones tell me to. Luna, flip over the other piece of watermelon. There's going to be something tasty in there. I'd go in there, but I got shorts with flip-flops on, and I don't want to get pecked at, but I will go in there and flip it over when I bring their treats out. So, yeah, y'all come over here in the shade. It's cooler on this side of the house because there's been no sun on this side of the house yet today. I was sweating my booty off over there. So, yeah, sunflowers. You can see them in the distance now a bit. I mean, I can see them from here. Can't wait till the really tall ones get to blooming. In the front this side wildflower patch, and I'm so anxiously awaiting to see what this really tall Cosmo here is going to make. Hear the growling? What are you growling about? I'm not really trashy. That's a water jug. So I brought out some electrolyte water and mixed it up because I can do the math with a small jug like that. What are you growling about, mister? Flower. You're looking rough, sister. Let's see if you got an egg. Did you leave me an egg in the cat carrier? Let me see. Yes, she did. There it is. Yummy, yummy. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So I'm going to end this here on Laddie over here, standing by the water dish growling. Put food out for Chaos, but I haven't seen him. Where's your cat? He's like, which one? All right, Laddie, say bye. Hi, y'all. It's Kate. I thought I would put a little bit of meal in here. Not because, see my microphone's on, yeah. Not because it's all attractive and I look all great today. So you can tell that I'm no makeup, Sunday, sitting in my chair, being fat and sassy. When I was using the selfie stick earlier, I kept hitting the button that starts and stops the video. So in a minute, we'll go take a look at my squash. I showed it, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a patty pan. And I didn't realize I had hit the button, so it wasn't showing my little volunteer squash. And because the chair makes me all squish up, I feel like I look like a Buddha in it. So anyway, yeah, I haven't looked in the mirror today. This is the first time I've actually looked at myself. Scary. I got bit under the eye the other day. My cheeks are a little red. A skater or something, you know. I must be that sweet. But I just wanted to say hi. I wanted to say thank you to all of you who have been so very supportive, you know, in the turmoil that I'm going through here. And it's still not easy. It's like having a 55-year-old, 13-year-old. But I'd mentioned in the video that I'll probably publish before this one. This is the same day, same pink shirt. But my gardens and my chickens and my cats and are one of the main reasons that I'm going to stick around a little bit longer. And the fact that I can't afford to leave, nor do I have the vehicle to leave. Now, if he doesn't pay his bills and his truck starts to go into repo, then I would take that thing west. We'll see. Oh my gosh. This is why I don't do lives. This is why I don't go on camera. Because I see a lot of people do lives, and a lot of people film themselves while they're doing things. And when you're filming yourself, you have to stop and then flip it around and see the animals. And I'm not real big about being on camera, especially when I'm hot and sweaty like now. We're up in the 80s. There's no breeze. I'm sitting in my swing. Um, I'm cramped up in it a bit. So I know I seem like I'm squirreling a lot. It's just because I'm conscious of the fact that I am on camera. And it makes me very uncomfortable. But back to the reason for this, because essentially I'm going to be able to look you guys in the eyes, all of you. It's hard to know where to look. Who has sent such positive and supportive messages, and I appreciate it. And I wish there wasn't this much drama in my life. It makes me very uncomfortable. Makes me very makes me agitated. Causes me a lot of stress and anxiety, and it's just been tough. But I'm going to persevere because I'm a strong chick, and I always persevere, and I always come out okay. Maybe a little worse for wear, but I'll come out okay. And though I do have a home if I have to leave. I do have a home for the chickens, at least all the hens, and I would take the oldest two cats with me. But for now, I'm going to stay at least through the fall and the winter. I have really no choice. I'm hoping this midlife crisis psycho phase he's going through changes. But if it gets to a point that he's not paying the bills, like the roof over my head no longer has power, or, if we don't have power, we don't have water because we have a well, then I will make some hard decisions. But I don't have the sort of family that is really big on helping each other out. So, and I mentioned in a previous note to some people that, one of the reasons I've lived so far away from my family since I was 19, and I'm 55 now, is the drama. And when I went through a really rough, scary time in my life, in one breath they were supportive and we love you, and then in the next breath I was hearing all the gossip and hurtful things. And I can ignore people, but it's hard when it's your family because it's so much more personal. And I just don't want to be family gossip fodder, which I'm sure I am already. And my family is very comfortable with the out of sight, out of mind. If they don't have to see your issues every day, they're happy. And if they don't have to see you every day, they're just fine. And they don't think about you when you're not in front of their face. So yeah, that's sad. And but I love them. They're still my family. They're still my blood. They've got their issues too, but we're not going to talk about them. So it's about 5 minutes of me rambling about stupid shit. I'm sorry. I know I say curse words, and that's just me. I try to be very authentic with you guys, and so I'm not going to polish up my squirreling, my distraction problems, my language, just to appease a few people. I'm just going to be me, and you either take me as I am, and like me as I am, or you don't. And wow, makes me look shows my crooked teeth. See, anytime I look at anything, all I see is the negative. So that's why I don't feel me. So I'm going to end this, but once again, I'm going to say thank you and I love you. And give me one of those and subscribe. And we're going to take a look at a couple things in the garden. A couple things that in the previous video you'll hear me mention, but you don't see them because my dumbass hit the wrong button. Okay, so you guys, hope you're having a great weekend. It's Lazy Sunday, so after I do this, I'm going to go in, I'm going to lay in front of the AC. And there's only AC in my room right now, but post some videos and watch some videos and lay in the AC. And I cut up a really good watermelon and a cantaloupe yesterday, so I'm going to have melon for lunch. And I've got some chicken marinating for the grill later. This means I'm going to have to clean my grill because I don't want to heat the house up. But let's go take a look at my volunteer squash. Okay, just a moment, y'all. Bye. All right, I have just risen out of the swing. And I'm going to close up the legs of the selfie stick. Which I don't know. I don't do selfies much. I just did that little bit of selfie, and I'm going to post it just because it's honest. It's just me, what I look like today. Puffy from the heat and sweaty. I should have did it with me standing up walking. I'll switch around so maybe it looks better that way. I'm up from the swing. I thought I would post this for me walking. That way I didn't look so scrunched up and Buddha-like in my swing. But we're going to take a look at my volunteer squash. All right, hold on just a moment. All right, so, I've been waffling, trying to figure out if it was going to be yellow or patty pan. The squash just appeared in the yard. I haven't had squash out this far out in half a dozen or more years, but here it is. So the shape of it makes me think it's going to be a patty pan squash. You can't really see in the picture, but there's a few little grooves coming down right here, like where it'll probably be like a scalloped patty pan squash. So tomatoes are, I'm going to bring them another drink. We didn't get enough rain for it to really be considered thirst quenching rain for the veggies. But there's a nice big cucumber there. It's pickable size, but I'm going to give it a couple more days, like I said in the other video. You see sunflowers there. Petunias, petunias, petunias. Marigolds and lemon thyme. I'm going to check on my little watermelon. Well, I'm out here being, oh, there's a little, can't see it. It's a fluorescent green-bodied dragonfly with clear wings, and they're hard to catch and see. So that is the old cucumber that was Sweet Success that grew that massively large one, which drained all its energy. And so I haven't pulled it up, but I don't see it producing anything. These two here are the Burpless, and they are producing lots of blooms. So this is another of the dwarf sunflowers. So I do believe these are going to be yellow. You can kind of see the yellow peeking out inside there. This one's opening up more today already. There's all kinds of little pollinators already snacking away. Like I don't know if I mentioned it in the other video, if it's part of what got cut off, is that I love that this dwarf one has lots of blooms on it. Now I'm starting to get some, here's some more volunteer watermelon over here growing on this area. So there's a little wee baby watermelon. The only watermelon I saw that actually had a melon on it is this one over here, and if it's still here, I thought I moved it over here and laid, oh, the little watermelon is gross and dead. So we'll see. But what I wanted to step up here and look at is the head of this sunflower, and I believe that's going to be purple when it opens up. I don't know if you can see much. I can't tell from this angle, but right now they're still facing away from me because it's late morning. But you can see all these little heads are about to pop open. And I love sunflowers. I mean, they're not my favorite, but I do love them, and they I like anything that attracts the pollinators. But I'm going to see, these weeds are coming up pretty easy. So this week, as we're supposed to be a little bit cooler, I'm going to come out here and do some more weeding. Most of this is going to pull up pretty easy because it's growing in weed mat. And so this one, that's in the weed mat, but it's got a pretty good root system. This is a weed, but it will make little flowers. So I'm letting it do its thing. But since I'm going to be here this fall, I definitely need to clean out the flower bed. But yeah, just a little more volunteer watermelon. And they're pretty tough. I think they'll be able to do their thing regardless of the weeds out here with them. The weeds I'm pulling now are pretty shallow. Whoops. But there we go. It's flowering. And we saw the little baby fuzzy little male-in hanging there. So I'll come out and try to give it a better place to lay. I think the other vine must have got stepped on or I damaged it. But, oh, there's another little volunteer sugar baby watermelon. So they grew in this middle section and along that section last year. So I'm going to make a conscious effort this week to come and clear out around here around them. And I should have done this morning since it's a bit cooler morning. Ooh, butterflies. Beautiful orange butterfly. Yeah. I'm not a great cinematographer. And they fly off so fast. But so I've got some more cherry tomatoes to pick. And I can't wait to see the purple sunflowers come up. So of course that's every day. Got a little deadheading I need to do here. I find it's awkward for me to look through the screen for stuff to deadhead. So I kind of have to do some inventive, creative filming of my own. But these are staying really pretty, and they're lasting a lot longer than they often do because I'm out here every day deadheading them. And it makes a big difference. It really does. Yeah? Is that your opinion? There's Laddie over there. He's like, she's talking to that box again. Yeah. You've already had your snuggle and stroll around the yard being carried by your mama, but this morning he always has something to say about though. So I already came out and threw out a bunch of peas and corn, and I'm not doing as much frozen vegetables this year, and that is the reason for that is that we have the one grocery store in town, and the frozen vegetables have been so super expensive and not as many ounces as I get with the cans. So I'm buying unsalted canned vegetables because I think the chickens do like it when they're softer. You know, they'll eat frozen peas and frozen vegetables once they've thawed. And they'll eat them while they're semi-thawed, but the young chickens don't. So I've been buying salt-free canned veggies. And they're all kind of over in this little corner here, trying to see what I'm filming, but sun's in my eyes. Filming HawkNet, yeah. Woo, woohoo. But and you know, 2 14-ounce cans is, you know, almost 3 times the amount from one little bag of frozen. Are you in the shade? I know I need to water your area down. Water down your little corn patch you guys are growing here. So anyway, that's enough of this video compilation, but I just wanted to show that little patty pan squash coming. There's still blooms in there, so I'm hoping to get some more. The sugar baby watermelon that are coming up volunteer are from last year's seeds and whatever rotted on the vine. So anyhow, you guys have a great Sunday. Bye, y'all. I'm going to add this in a short clip to what you can find when you do some weeding. Look, there's some more volunteer watermelon. And there's one over here on this vine, which is about the size of a really big gumball. Well, there are 2 here. Oh, right there. So I went through and pulled the main part of the grass away from the vines, making sure not to disturb them. Gave everything a good drink. Sunflowers up close. Sunflowers up close. And I do believe these tall ones, these purple ones, are starting to make bloom heads. Pretty sure this is going to be yellow, of course. And then this one, though something's eating it, looks like it might really want to start making a little bloom head. So, yeah, it's hot and I'm sweating and we'll have to take a shower, but I'm definitely going to come out these next couple mornings and get a bunch more weeding done. Kate's got to stop being such a slack ass. Chaos is choosing to hang out with the chickens. I'm watering down the little area. He's like, running water, I want to drink out of it. But yeah, he wanted to go in there. He has fresh water in his bowl, but you know, grass is always greener, somebody's water is always better. Like, look, he's not even really running from the rain, from the hose. These two are out here eating bird seed that I threw out for the birds. I don't know if we're going to reach 88 today, but just in case, I'm watering down their area, and I already watered their little corn garden. All right, I'm in this one too.